Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Beck. Today I have a painting of a migraine aura. I get migraines, not too often, but I get migraine auras quite frequently, maybe an hour before the headache kicks in. And one day I was sort of suffering with a migraine. I was at home. I had my eyes closed and just trying to breathe through the pain, because you know it's coming, you know you're going to be miserable. And I think sometimes the fear of getting a migraine and knowing that you're going to be miserable and knowing that you have to cancel plans is really stressful, and is something that then you end up focusing on and makes the headache worse. And I was laying there feeling miserable. But I was able to take a couple deep breaths and clear the panic. And when I did that and just let the experience happen, I was able to sort of see that what was happening behind my eyes, I guess in your brain really, was kind of interesting. And that it looked kind of like a kaleidoscope when you were like a little kid. And you'd look through those tube things and the weird pieces of glass, and you can kind of see outside and through those shapes, but they distort everything. And that's kind of what a migraine aura looks like to me. Sometimes it takes up about half of my vision. So what I did here is I decided it would make a really interesting painting. Not a lot of people know what that looks like. Then again, a lot of migraine sufferers do know what that looks like, and I'm sure it's sort of unique to everyone what that looks and feels like. So I started with a basic flower that I thought would make an interesting painting that I'd taken a picture of on a camping trip. And that's what I'm going to be sort of using to demonstrate the migraine aura that I get. And I didn't want the background to fight too much with the foreground and the bright colors of the detail. So I did like a basic, vertical and horizontal striping of colors in muted tones that I thought wouldn't clash too much with what's happening in the foreground. And the flower itself was really beautiful. I made it kind of a yellow. And the structure of the leaves, really cool, and I was able to sort of relax and just have this green, the shape of the leaves formed by the paintbrush itself, and I really like how I did that there. I let the paint and the brush do most of the work for the texture on those leaves. So now I'm adding in this semicircle here, which is going to be the start sort of the migraine distortion. And it kind of is interesting. It was like on one side it's almost like there's no real information, and on the other side it's going to be what I'm seeing but distorted with the migraine aura. And so right now I'm starting the basis of this sort of liney distortion. And on the right hand side, I'm going to draw out some of these shapes that look like light coming through different shapes of glass, just like a kaleidoscope. Lots of triangles and lines and flashes. And all of this is, a lot of times I use references. This wasn't something I really had a reference for. Just kind of had to close my eyes and remember and almost just do what kind of felt right in the moment. And there's going to be some different colors flashing throughout the aura. That's at least what I see when I get them. So I'm starting with some red, and there'll be some blue. But a lot of the information to the right of this migraine is going to be completely gone as far as seeing reality. sometimes I try to function through my migraines, and it's interesting because I'm almost like kind of looking around one side or the other of it to try and, especially if you're looking at a computer screen or something, it's like certain parts of the screen will be completely gone and then certain parts you'll be able to make out, and it's almost like you have to look through this thing that's in your vision. I think most artists, we all kind of are perfectionists, but what that means from one person to another is different. It's like I'm a messy perfectionist. I like want things to stay a little organic and interesting, but I also want them to pop. And there's, something that I know I want to see at the end of this painting, but I'm not really sure exactly what that is. And so I fuss. I go back and forth a lot, creating shapes, redefining areas until it's just right, whatever that is to me. And if you're an artist and you're making your own work, you'll figure out what is just right for you too. And here I am defining the flower a little bit more, giving it some life, having it come to the foreground so it's not so hidden in the background. I'm working with a bigger brush to let the paint sort of do the work and the texture. And I think this might be one of my favorite parts of the painting, this kind of lime green color that I put over here to really show how the aura is distorting what's there. And then I'm going to add that color in through the background as well, into the aura itself. And then I do an outline on the leaves, bring it out from the background to show the areas that are not in the aura, how precise and crisp they are, so that then you get that dynamic and that difference between the side that's really sharp and in focus and the side that's starting to get distorted by the migraine. So you saw there was some black in these lines, and then I kind of smoothed them out with that light green, and now I'm sharpening them up again with some more black. I just kind of go back and forth. I don't know, I guess every artist has their own way, and this is mine. Just back and forth, making things blurry, making things sharp, until, again, it's just whatever feels right to me. And certainly, since this is something that's happening in my head and not really a tangible thing, it's gonna sort of just be what I perceive it to be. And yeah, here I decided I really wanted to go darker with this background, add in more black. And I think this is when the painting starts to really come together. And here I am, again, creating more elevation and more form to these leaves, giving some highlights to areas, making it nice and crisp. And this is really just sort of polishing up the painting, and I think, it was a neat process and it was fun to do. I'm curious to know if other people have auras that look similar to this. This is relatable. And I really appreciate everyone who turns in and looks at my art. I do work a full-time job. Someday I want to do this. And I appreciate everyone for coming in and taking their time out of their day and watch me paint. Hopefully you enjoy what you've seen today. If you are a migraine sufferer, I hope you find some peace, relatability. And thanks for watching. I hope everyone is well. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.